Is you ready, my brother? Step up to this mic and let's get it.
Make some noise for Domes, y'all. Make some noise.
Hey everybody, my name's not Doms. It's Domes.
What is it? Domes Gage is dope, but like.
That boy is good. I promise.
What's up, guys? Domes Gage here, and we're back. Episode 3 of my new solo podcast, the best podcast in the world, Off the Dome with Domes Gage. Well, we're back, and this is the first time I'm sitting down to try and record this, because the last 2 episodes I talk about how I sit down and I try and record these episodes and I get a couple minutes in, and I decide to cut them and start over because for whatever the reason may be. And if doing 2 episodes of a solo podcast has taught me anything, it's that you just got to let it roll. You just got to let it roll. You just got to let it go. And you roll with the punches. You make shit work. And we're back. Episode 3, Off the Dome with Domes Gage. And I always get real nervous when I start these episodes because I'm like, oh, I'm going to fuck it up. And you guys are getting it all today. I edited the last episode way too much, and I made it work. I made it cohesive, but while I was recording it, I was like, God damn it, I'm going to have to edit so much stuff out of this, and that's annoying to me. I feel like a podcast should just be more like free-form stream of consciousness. There shouldn't be too many like edits and things like that in it. So it's only my 3rd episode. We're getting better. We're going to get better. And Off the Dome with Domes Gage is here to stay. We're here to stay, guys. Anyway, shout out to everybody that showed love on the last episode. Like I said in the last episode, it means a lot that you guys are tuning into these podcasts. And it's had a much better response than I thought it would. A lot of comments and a lot of people actually seem like they're listening and watching. And yeah, thank you guys. I'm going to try and keep these consistent. No, fuck that. No try. I'm going to keep these consistent for you guys every week, every Monday. And here I am, Sunday morning. It's like 11 o'clock on Sunday, and I'm recording an episode so I can have one out for you tomorrow. And last week's episode came out a little bit late. It was like 6 o'clock at night, and I like to get these up. I like to get these episodes up around noon, or at least I did that for the first episode. So, yeah, I'm going to try and do that. I just need to get it edited faster. Like I said, last episode was a nightmare to edit, and it was just a lot of, I don't know, I was having a rough go of things. Excuse me. I think I was trying to do the last episode. I did so many takes for it. I recorded the first 3 to 5 minutes so many times that every time I sat down to do, I would do it 5 minutes or whatever, and then I would cut the take because I said something I didn't like or whatever the case was. And anytime I would try and do another take, all I could think of was the take that I had just done. So now it just became too much of a script. I was trying to think of a script, and this is Off the Dome with Domes Gage. This can't be too pre-planned. It has to just be, all off the cuff, off the dome. And, yeah. So we're going to make it work. And I think I'm 5 minutes into this episode, and I've just been babbling about nothing once again. And that's this podcast in a nutshell. Love you guys for listening. Well, I guess the main thing that I wanted to talk about this week would be the new music video that I just released for my new, it's a new song. It came out last year as a single, but not everybody heard it. So it's a new song, new music video, trust the process. is out now. Yeah, so I just released my third music video of this year. God, I've been a little active with the music videos. I guess that's not that active, to be honest, but you know, we'll take the anyway, just skip that thought. Yes, so Trust the Process music video out now. It is my third music video of the year, and it is for a song that I released early last year as a single, and me and Ryan made the beat for the song, and we actually shot this video with another one of my homies, Roskop, who's done beats for me on like my old album, and he does a lot of videos for people now, and he's getting really good at that. And yeah, so shout out to him. He actually, we shot like the main footage for this video last year, like March of last year. So I've been sitting on this footage for like a long time. And, well, I guess, yeah. So I've been sitting on this footage for like a year. And when the homie gave me the edit back of the video, there was just something like, I felt there was something missing. I talked about this, I think, in the first episode. I'm not sure. But I felt like there was something kind of missing to the video. And, like, it was just a lot of me rapping, and it wasn't really, like, telling too much of a story. And I want to get more creative with the video ideas and stuff these days. So I was thinking, like, oh, what could I add in there to really give this some direction and kind of, you know, fill in some spots. And I had the thought, because the song is, you know, Trust the Process, why not try and document some of the process, right? So, and for anyone listening, I did air quotes when I said the process. And now for anyone watching, they just heard me explain that twice. So anyway, take all the fire from the possible joke and just fucking pour water on it. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Guys. Best podcast ever, and you know it. All right. What was I saying? Of course, this is going to happen. So, yeah, we shot the video, and I was putting... I had the idea to document some of my process, some of the journey so far. And I started going through a ton of old footage and looking at old videos, and some of it just really brought me back, and I thought it was really cool to try and showcase some of that stuff. And I ended up editing a bunch of that footage. I ended up editing into the video and making it make sense to kind of, you know, trust the process, giving some sort of concept to the video, I guess. And I thought it was just a really cool, like, time machine or, you know, walk down memory lane or whatever, because, like I said, there's footage from the last 10 years in that video, and everything from, like, one of my first concerts to, like, my first rap battle to, like, there's just so much stuff in there, like bigger concerts that me and KON have done, and there's just a lot of really cool footage in there, and I'm really happy, I'm really proud with the way it turned out and the reception that it's been getting. So, thank you guys. I actually want to break down this music video. I actually called KON because I wanted him to help me break down this music video, and he didn't answer. So, well, sorry, dude. I wanted him to be my first guest on Off the Dome with Dome's Gauge so we could talk about this music video. But I have to record these episodes. I have to keep them consistent. He didn't answer. You know, I can't wait. I can't wait around. So I do want to actually try and break down this video. In the last episode, I was kind of talking about not knowing how technically I can do that, but I did a little bit of research and I downloaded this fucking program to where I can screen record me watching the video while I record this podcast, hopefully. And then the audio from the screen record will be picking up the audio from the music video. Anyway, I tried to figure this out. Hopefully I made it somewhat, hopefully it works. We're going to see. And because I thought that would be a cool idea for me to watch this video and sort of break down where some of these clips come from, where some of these old concerts were, or, things like that. So I suppose we'll be right back with me trying to figure this out. And we're back and figuring this out here. Okay, I got the screen record going. Should I watch this video on YouTube? Yeah, I'll pull it up on YouTube. Get me some views for myself. I was thinking about just playing it one time through, but then it's just going to be too much time. I don't want to take that much time up. So if you haven't seen it yet, pause this video and go to my last upload, Dome's Gauge Trust the Process official music video. Watch the music video, then come back to this part of the podcast where I watch the video and break it down, because I'm going to be stopping it to break down where the old footage comes from and all that. So, yeah. Oh my God. That was so loud in my headphones, guys. All right, let me turn this shit all the way down. Okay, we're going to hope this works now, guys. Because... Oh, my bad. My fault. So, yeah, we're going to hope this works. It still might be a little bit of a pain in the ass because I'm thinking about it now and I'm still going to have to edit this footage and audio into the podcast. And I haven't really thought exactly how I'm going to... Whatever. I'm not going to think technical terms on this podcast. I'll save that for when I'm off cam and when I'm not trying to be somewhat entertaining. Shout out to you guys for listening. Shout out to Buck. He's holding 2 drinks. I was extra thirsty today, so. Yeah. Shout out to Buck. Okay, let's get into this. So here we are, Dome's Gauge, Trust the Process, official music video. I'm gonna put the video up on the screen somewhere so you guys can watch it with me and all that. Don't worry about it. But right now, I'm gonna be looking over here, and real entertaining podcast content for anyone who's just listening. Yeah, that's also what I'm thinking. If you're just listening, this might be a little odd because you're not going to be seeing the clips I'm talking about. So maybe watch this episode. Maybe come to YouTube and watch this segment at least. Or sync. No, I don't know. Anyway, let me. This guy's jumping at me. Let me make sure he's okay. Oh, it stopped. Don't tell me I only get 3. Like, this is like a fucking... Hold up. Don't tell me I only get like 3 minutes with this thing screen recording. I probably should have done like some test runs and shit. And I didn't. But... we're going to see what happens, I suppose. Okay. I'm hoping this works. That looks fine. Because all these programs, they want you to buy something, right? And I downloaded another program and wanted me to buy something, and that's just, it's bullshit, and I don't want to pay for your, well, it's not that I don't want to pay. Well, it is that I don't want to pay, but even if I did want to pay, I couldn't pay for your goddamn program. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to do the bootleg versions, and I also should have probably done some test runs on this, but this is all off the dome, and this is all off the dome, and we're learning as we go. So yeah, okay. Screen record setting now. Music video. Dome's Gauge, trust the process. Music video on the YouTube. Let's get into it.
And how old are you? Tell him.
16, yo, turning 17.
16. Damn. Show him some love.
Okay, so the very first clip that this video starts out with, a lot of my fans are pretty familiar with. That is a clip from my very first rap battle in AHAT, AHAT. That was the rap battle league that we all came up in out here in Las Vegas. And yeah, those things got really popular. I mentioned on the last episode that one of them reached 1 million views. And like, yeah, you know, that was a great time in my life. And it will always be an awesome stepping stone for me to look back at, like an awesome brick in the foundation that I'm building. Although it's not necessarily what I do or even agree with or, you know, type shit. But yeah, I think it was an awesome start. It was also 10 years ago. I say I'm 16 in the start of that video, and I'm 26 now. So I just really wanted to showcase the growth since doing that rap battle and the 10 years in between and the 10 years since that. You know, I know there's some people that probably haven't even heard any of the music since watching the rap battles, and I'm hoping that someone might see that video and be like, oh, it's Domes. I haven't seen him in fucking 10 years. What's he been up to? And then it cuts to this video and they're like, oh shit. And they listen to the music. Also, for the fans that are familiar with it, it was just like a little nostalgia effect. Like, I'm big on that. When you can flash back to something that your fans, like anytime I follow like an artist or something and yeah, he does something like this, and they flash back to like an old video, or I'm big on like documentaries, on like music documentaries. I love seeing yeah, just like the old footage compared to the new footage, the contrast of you know, that's why I like documentaries in the first place. And I think that this video kind of plays as a little mini documentary in a way, a little mini music documentary, and showcases the last 10 years. So yeah, I knew I was opening the floodgates for all the battle rap fans to come in and be like, oh yeah, we fucking love this video and miss this video and don't give a fuck about your new music, but just want to watch this video again. And that's fine. That's all good. Like, I appreciate that you guys enjoyed those videos. And like I said, it's a proud beginning that I'll be proud to look back at. But my objective was not for you guys to tell me how much you miss them, but more to see the growth since then. And yeah, hope you guys can appreciate that. So let's keep going.
If I learn one thing, it's to trust the process, but there's still a few things.
Yes, so that's the next clip right there. Let me go back a second. Shout out to Roscott for filming these main shots.
One thing, it's the trust the process.
This shot right here, little old me. Man, I was gonna go look at exactly when this show was, and I kind of forgot. But I want to say I'm like 15 or 16 at this concert. This is at a venue that used to be really close to my house, and it was also one of the first venues, like actual venues that we started performing in. And like some of the first shows I ever did was like in a backyard, just me and KON, like rapping in a backyard with a couple people. And this was like the first time we ever actually performed in a venue. And I want to say this was even before the battle rap stuff, before we did any type of A-Hat stuff. We were in this, I think. And it's looking like my screen record stopped again. So I might just have to do a ton of these, which is going to be a fucking annoying, but that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing because I've committed to this and we're going to make this work. So yeah, this venue was called The Farm, and Donnie Menace used to perform there. Like, we all used to do shows there, and it was a very cool venue and very early for me doing shows. So the next few clips are from that venue.
Process, but there's still a few things that I haven't got yet. Yeah, I want a lot more. Used to have a lot less till I chose to work more and I chose to talk less. Yeah, I learned you had to.
See, this is all from the same show right here. And this was from a show where, like, Gage Fam was still a thing, and it was like it was four of us, and we all rapped. And this is like, we did like a headlining show, and it was all four of us on the stage. And yeah, I don't know, it was a good memory of mine. So I put some of the footage in there. And fun fact about this footage is this is actually my favorite footage that I added to this video. And I didn't add this footage until the day before releasing this video because I've been sitting on this video for a while, like I said, and even since I've edited the old footage or whatever into it, I've been sitting on it finished for a while. I remember showing it to Ryan, and he's like, no, you don't have to mess with it anymore. It's done. And so I sat on it. I didn't do anything with it. And I posted on Instagram the day before, like, oh, I'm going to release this on Friday, a couple days before or something. Like, I'm going to release this on Friday. And I hyped it up a little bit with the Instagram post about, I don't know, just the saying, oh, there's 10 years of footage in this. And I don't know, it just it made me think like, oh, I need to make it better. I need to go back and make it better. So I like went back the day before releasing it and started editing, like started switching a couple things around. And then I added this footage in there. And I'm really happy about that because, like I said, this is like my favorite footage that I added in the video and didn't do it until the day before releasing it. So I'm glad I went back and made changes and just went and did it and got it done. And yeah, happy with it. Happy with my decision. And yeah, happy to look back at this show.
Be about your actions, take control. I play a show and get the crowd.
All right, now this one right here, this fucking show, house show, Halloween party. Shout out to my boy Devin, his brother Jericho. Those are both my boys. Those, like, I grew up with them, and we grew up like skateboarding and playing music, listening to music, all of that. And this was a Halloween party that they threw in 2011, I want to say. And screen record here. My fault, guys. And okay. So yeah, this was a Halloween party that they threw, and they were having like a couple bands perform, like the homies band was playing, and they just asked me like, yo, do you wanna like rap? You wanna do a set or whatever? And I was down. So I performed at the homies Halloween party, and that's why if you look, you can see like this fool in a ski mask. You see like fucking this girl's dressed as like Super Mario or some shit. I don't know. It's Halloween, so you could see like different costumes. I'm not really dressed in a costume because I'm no fun. But yeah, so this was a Halloween party, and this was something I just thought was really cool to show the growth of like a house part. Like I'm performing in a fucking house party to like performing at bigger venues, which we'll get to later in the video. So yeah.
Reaction. Give this shit my all and you can't doubt the passion. I've been at this for so long and now it's
This show, 8 Ball Bail Bonds, we used to do a bunch of little shows there. That actually used to be like right next door to the Johnny Toko's boxing gym that we used to do the A-Hat rap battle events at. And like my Coolie Bop video, all that like old shit inside the boxing gym was at Johnny Toko's boxing gym. And this venue, 8 Ball Bail Bonds, was just like right next door. And I don't know who had the plug there or what, but we were doing a lot of shows around that time. I think there's even like an old A-Hat video where I'm wearing this same outfit because it's from the same day. And we did a show there. And yeah.
bound to happen. Yeah, I've been at this since a child.
That's more from the farm, the first stuff.
Take a walk up in my shoes, you wouldn't last a single mile.
Shout out to me and Ryan just smoking a blunt in the back of the homie's truck or back of the homie's car. You know, Ryan rolling woods. I was just like, yo. And it was funny because we were just filming this video and we were just like, hey, let's find a place to smoke real quick. And I was like, fuck, let's just do it right here and film. And, you know, it worked. So, yeah.
Was waiting on my call and first I had to get it dialed. Anyone that hated on me, I just laughed at it and smiled.
This clip right here is from an old A-Hat freestyle. Like I don't think it was a rap battle. I think we were just like doing an interview or talking about the next event or hyping something up, and then all of us started rapping and doing little freestyles, and that is a part from that where I don't know, the homies like hyping me up or whatever, and I thought that was cool to throw in there.
Shit off like it's nothing, dog. Climbing over every obstacle I come across. Yeah, I brush it off.
This show, now this is jumping all over the place because this isn't, it's not like in chronological order, which I was super like overcritical of myself about when I was editing this video at first. As I was like, it doesn't go like in order, it kind of like jumps around all over the place. And everybody I asked about that just said, you're tripping, it doesn't matter. So, this show is jumping all over the place, but this is at the Beauty Bar, which I don't know how much, let me see if this is still recording. It's not. I don't know how much of that I even fucking got. This is going to be a nightmare to edit, guys. Having a blast already. So yeah, this show is at the Beauty Bar, which is downtown Vegas, and it was a really popular venue, but I'm pretty sure it got closed and is not open anymore, so I thought I would throw a little clip of me performing there.
I just brush it off. Stroke a genius on the canvas when I touch the cloth. Yeah.
That's 8 Ball Bail Bonds again.
Gotta trust the process.
This is another show from the farm, which is the same venue I was talking about at the beginning, but this is another show that me and KON did. I actually think this is a Donnie Menace concert, and he brought us out to do a song, and I want to say that's what that's from. So,
'Cause I know that the come up makes me. I'm all about the progress.
this clip is from a show, another Donnie Menace concert. It was like his birthday concert or something, and there was a rap battle. Donnie threw a rap battle at this event, and it was White Cheddar versus Pop Culture, and you can watch that video if you'd like. And me and Donnie are hosting, and you can see I'm wearing this funny little fedora outfit, and and yeah, I don't know, that was a cool show. I remember just having a good time at that show, and I don't know, I guess this is just me showing more show footage to kind of, this was a couple years later from the farm stuff, and just, yeah, anyway.
I've been working till the sun up lately.
this clip right here is really cool. Shout out to OD from A-Hat. I hit him up to get permission to use some of this footage because I thought that was necessary to reach out to him because he's responsible for some of the footage that I used in here. And this clip right here is from the day we recorded the A-Hat theme song. There's like an intro song for all those videos. All hip hop, all the time, blah, 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 and online. I forgot what it says. But anyway, we, like a lot of, like 4 or 5, I don't know, a handful of the A-Hat rappers linked up in a studio to make the theme song. And my verse is really bad on it. And I did it really fast. And I was not, anyway, well.
Gotta trust the process.
So yeah, this clip is from us recording that, and I don't know, I was just sitting, probably listening to someone do their verse, and I thought that was cool to show like some old studio footage.
'Cause I know that the come up makes me. I'm all about.
Now this clip here, I'm gonna already stop this screen recording and just, dude, see, this is gonna be terrible. All right. It's gonna be so bad. I'm sorry, guys. I thought this thing recorded longer for longer than 3 minutes, but apparently it doesn't. So, yeah. All right. So, I'll go back for a second.
I've been working till the sun up lately. I gotta trust the process. 'Cause I know that the come up makes me. I'm all about the progress.
So this footage, here, there's a couple more clips from this one.
I've been working till the sun up lately.
Right here.
Working till the sun is up.
And right here. So this is at a sports music festival that is out here in Las Vegas, or was out here. I don't think it exists anymore. It was called the Extreme Thing. And this was an event that I would go to as a kid a lot. Like I would always go as a young kid to go. They used to hold like skateboarding competitions and BMX competitions and live music, and it would basically just be a place to like go fucking meet up and be obnoxious kids and shit. So I used to go to that all the time, and then when I can't remember exactly how that came about, but when we got hit up to perform there, it was a super big deal for me because I had been going there for so many years, and yeah, it was a super big deal to be performing at that festival. That doesn't tell me what year it is. I have a little backstage pass to it right there, but I want to say it was 2013 because this is also the very first time I performed Shoot for the Sky. The song wasn't even recorded yet. I had just had it written and like the rough idea of the beat, and I performed that version of it at this concert. And that was sort of the spark to take a new direction and venture off into making music and becoming Domes Gage and becoming the rapper, I guess, that I am now, and kind of branching off from like the younger battle rap kind of stuff. This was really like that, the turn in the tide or whatever. I don't know if that's, But yeah, so that's why I thought this was really cool to put in there. It was I don't know. This show meant a lot. And yeah. And shout out to KON for doing like all of these shows with me up until this point. That's why I wanted him here so he could fucking talk about this stuff with me. But I'll have him on a future episode, I guess. Or maybe when we eventually bring the Domes and KON podcast back, we'll do another Trust the Process recap. See, I should have been stopping these clips every time I paused it, but I didn't. You live and you learn. All right. Okay.
I'm just doing what I love. I'm just doing what I love.
Yeah, this is they threw this at Desert Breeze Skate Park, which is like, if you're from Las Vegas, you probably know about Desert Breeze Skate Park. And yeah, it was a big festival and was a super big deal that we got to perform there. And yeah.
Ay, this is the come up. I got tunnel vision on this money mission.
This clip right here is from when we started performing at LVCS, which was, if you watched any of the episodes of The Life of Me, which was my old like behind the scenes vlog series, you would see this venue. It was kind of like home base. We used to do so many shows there, downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, and it unfortunately got closed down a few years ago. And this is just, yeah, it was one of the staples. It was one of the, after I put out the album, I was doing a lot of shows there, like opening for most of the artists that I opened for. I was doing it at this venue right here. So I was spoiled with this venue right here, I'll say the least. I opened for Tech Nine there, and yeah. So had to throw that in there.
I'ma hustle till the sun is risen. Yeah, making hits like I was Sunny Liston. My mama brag about me like this is my son here, listen.
That's my mama. And that's also from the same show. I can't remember. She was probably just showing me love from performing, and my mom's my biggest fan, and she watches this podcast, so I love you, Mom. So yeah, I had to throw that little clip in there. How could I not? It's too good. So, and now she's all hyped about it. She's like, oh, I'm in a music video, so she's hyped about it, and that makes me happy. So let me make sure this is even still recording. Okay, it is. And I'm gonna stop that one. I'm gonna start a new one. Bow, just like that. Because then it's not cutting out at least, and I can kind of piece it together. All right.
Been tripping, making dumb decisions. And I wouldn't be myself if I had done it different. But that meant I had to make it out some tough positions. Lucky I ain't end up dead or with a drug addiction. Now I just want the
Now, this stuff right here and the last little clip of the graffiti or whatever,
making songs like Metallica, that's unforgiving.
that is from a concert that me and KON did in Reno. And that was the first time I ever performed a show outside of Las Vegas. We went, I don't know, one of the promoters out there, I guess, there was a lot of fans of the battle rap stuff at the time, and he hit me up and was like, what would it take for, you know, us to get you out here to do a show? And that was like one of the funnest trips ever. Like me and KON, we took a road trip, and the other homie, we took a road trip, and we just had a blast, dude. Like just bullshitting the whole way up. And I have so much footage from this trip, like so much footage. Like this was like one of the first things we ever like got the camera and took the camera on the trip. Like we got the camera right around that time. This is around the same time we recorded like Punch Drunk and Heart of Gold and all that type of stuff. Was we had got the camera that I'm still recording on till this day. So yeah, we got this camera and we took it on this trip with us, and I have so much footage from it, and I just never knew what to do with it. I wasn't really as good at editing as I am now, and I just never knew what to do with it. So I thought there's actually in my old video Road to Riches, I think, there's like a small clip of us performing. There's like girls dancing on the stage, and it was really awkward because we're like doing like super like underground hip hop music at the time, and there's like these girls dancing on stage, and it just like didn't mix. But yeah, so there is an old clip of that somewhere. But yeah, I just wanted to put a clip of that in there because I never got to use that footage, and maybe one day I'll do like an actual throwback Life of Me or something, because it was so fun. It was like one of the first experiences, yeah, where we went out of town and we were performing, and the fans showed us a ton of love. We were like signing kids' hats and fucking, it was just a really good time. And yeah, we took a road trip and just stayed in a hotel, and it was good memories. So that's pretty nostalgic for me to look back at. All right, let's get back to this.
I'm with Ryan rolling woods, check the blunt he's twisting. They say live the life you love.
So this right here, Ryan sparking a blunt in the toaster. This is one of my favorite clips in the video, and I debated even keeping it in there because I don't know why I debated keeping it in there. But originally when I was editing, it fall on like cuts to like you can hear the sound of him like, I don't know. Anyway, this is like the same day that we recorded the Heaven Sent music video, which some of you guys maybe have seen on my channel. If not, go watch it. This is a few years ago now, a couple years ago. And this is Ryan's old house. And the reason I remember this so well is because Ryan's AC didn't work in his house. So he was in like this little back house that we probably shouldn't have been smoking a blunt inside of, but he was in this little back house that that had AC, and we had like all our shit set up. We're like making beats and making music in this little house or whatever. And I think we were going to film the Heaven Sent video or something, and this fool like fucking goes to light the blunt and figures out that the lighter's dead or we don't have a lighter, and this fool pulls out the fucking toaster, dog. And like I have more footage from this, and I wish I would have like pulled up the raw footage and I could have maybe played that side by side, but whatever. But yeah, it's really funny. I'm like, damn, fucking sparking the blunt with the toaster. That's getting real toasted. That's the toaster blunt, dog, or something. I don't know. But it was funny at the time. So I talked about with Ryan rolling woods, check the blunt he's twisting, and I figured I was looking through footage and I was like, I have footage of him. Because when I was editing the Heaven Sent footage, a couple years ago, I remember having this and thinking this was the funniest shit ever. Like, I have you on camera lighting a blunt in a toaster. And I just thought that was so funny. So I remembered it. And then when I was editing this one and there was that line, I was like, I better throw the toaster blunt in there. So hashtag toaster blunt. And and it just stopped. That was good timing. I'm getting good at this. All right, let's hopefully finish this off. There's 48 more seconds, and I'm sure it's going to take me it's going to take me longer than that to get through it.
I just love I'm living. I gotta trust the process. Cause I know that the come up makes me. I'm all
So this right here, and even
progress. I've been working till the sun up lately.
so these shots are from a concert I did out here at the Vinyl, which is a venue inside the Hard Rock, which is one of like the biggest venues I've probably performed at, next to the Echoplex in Los Angeles when I did the Del the Funky Homo Sapien show, which I was gonna put footage of that in here, but I have a whole Life of Me episode of that, and I wanted to put footage that I haven't really shown to the people yet. And I thought that was better than me throwing in, all that. So anyway, they do like a hip hop showcase out here called Tuesday Blend, and I got a chance to perform there, and I've been sitting on the footage for a long time. So really this was an opportunity for me to take a bunch of old footage I haven't been able to use and just kind of splice it into this video and, document the journey so far. So, yeah. All right.
Gotta trust the process. Cause I know that the come up makes me. I'm all about the progress. I've been working till the sun up lately.
And that's it. That is it. Yeah, that is it. I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. When we went to go shoot that video, we didn't really have an idea in mind. We're just like, oh, let's go find a cool location and go film. That's how a lot of my music videos happen. And I was just kind of like thinking I wanted something more. And I think it turned out so nice even my sister pointed this out where she's like, it's kind of like you're walking down memory lane. You're walking down the street and all these old videos are popping up. And I was like, man, that's such like a good point, you know? So I'm really happy with how this video came out and just the response that it's gotten so far. You know, I'm really, like I said, I've posted about it on like Facebook and Instagram and all that, but it just really means a lot that some of you guys have been around since the beginning and chose to stick with me to listen to the music that I'm making now, because not everybody did. Like, I had a big fan base with the battle rap stuff, and when I made the decision that I'm not doing this anymore and I just want to make music and pursue that, not everybody was on board with it, and which is understandable. Like, that's another topic for another day, but the fact that there are a handful of people that stuck around and are seeing this video now and kind of getting reminded, like, oh yeah, I used to like him 10 years ago, like, what's he been up to? Or used to like him however many years ago, like, maybe they'll tune back in. Maybe this is a way for them to tune in the first place if they've never tuned in before. And yeah, so anyway, going off on a rant. I already forgot what I was saying, but yeah. Thinking about how hard it's gonna be to edit that screen grab in there, but you know, it's all right. I'll make it work, and I won't complain. I'm gonna have a great time, and I have a fantastic episode. And I think we're like pretty deep in this episode now because that took way longer than I assumed it would. It's already like probably 40 minutes or 45. It says 47, but I'm assuming not all of this is. Anyway, guys, more technical talk. I'm trying to think if there's anything I have to add to that, man. Yeah, something else I posted. Here, let me pull up my little Facebook post. Or Instagram post. If you guys don't follow me on Facebook, or if you, Facebook's weird. If you don't follow me on Instagram, it's Instagram @DomesGage, and go follow me. That's where I pretty much update all my stuff, and I'm the most consistent. And I'm not consistent at all, but I'm, you know, YouTube and Instagram. So, yeah. So I'll read this little post because it's along the lines of what I was just talking about. And it says, thank you guys for the love on the new video. It means a lot that some of you have been around since the beginning and stuck around to hear the music I'm making now. I've been at this for 10 years, and it's really easy to lose hope when things aren't exactly going the way you wish they would. This video is a reminder that I put way too much fucking time in this for me to quit now. I know I just have to trust the process. And that's real. That's real as fuck right there. Like, watching this video was just a reminder to myself to be like, damn, dude, I've been doing this for a long time, and what a shame would it be for me to look back in some years and think like, damn, what could have been, or what if I didn't fucking stick with that? And that's not going to happen, guys. That's not going to happen. I talked about being like motivated in the last episode, and I really am. Like, something about, and I, again, going back to what I was talking about in the last episode, about manifesting these things, about me doing this podcast and talking about things is making them more of a reality, and it's making me more excited about them because I'm putting them out to the world and whatnot. So yeah, I'm really excited right now. I'm inspired. I want to rap. I posted on Instagram that give me beat suggestions that you want to hear me rap on. So if you have any of those, go in the comments, leave suggestions of beats that you want to hear me rap on, like current songs or popular songs or whatever. I'm just trying to like stay active. I need to work harder, and I know that, and I'm excited to work harder. So, yeah, an EP is coming. That was speculation in the last couple episodes, but like I said in the last one, it became a reality because I put it in the podcast, and now it's a real thing. So an EP will be dropping before the end of the year. I have a title for it. I'm not going to tell you guys yet, but I'm sure the podcast will be the first to know. So yeah, new music. I'm gonna do an EP. I want to do more music videos for the EP. I want to do a couple music videos for some of the singles that I released last year. There's some good ones in there. I know they're not part of an album, but there's some good songs, and I want to do videos for them. Then the next album, so EP before the end of the year, album 2 next year. If I can get everything mixed and mastered and done right within the first half of next year, or that might change and I might take a different approach and do another shorter project, another EP, or I'm kind of in that mode of like, let me do a 7-song body of work, a little 7-song project here, and not put too much stress on like, oh, I need a full length, because really the debut album or whatever doesn't actually happen until you're part of the industry, until you're on a record label or you're that type of artist, because there's all these people that like Chance the rapper, who I'm a big fan of, just dropped his debut album. Yet to me, he has 3 albums already: Acid Rap, Coloring Book, I guess 10 Days of Mixtape. But anyway, the difference between like a mixtape and an album and all that these days is so thin, and it's so I think I put too much stress on like the album word, because I look at my first project like an album, but really whenever I'm actually successful and I'm in the industry and I put out my first project, they're going to say that's your debut album. So I don't know. It's just fucking fancy terms to call things to release music, and I don't know. So, and people are getting creative with that even, calling it a collection or calling it a playlist like Drake, or calling it a whatever, they're coming up with different words, because they're like, yeah, it's not an album, but it's not a mixtape, and it's not I don't know, long-winded. I don't even know the point I'm trying to make here, but I want to do a body of work and not really I've been thinking about that a lot, at least as like, maybe I don't need to do the full length album 2 right now. Maybe I need to do a handful of shorter projects or whatever. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. It's all twirling around up there, all off the dome. You know how this podcast goes. Yeah. Anyway, but I have like this whole concept and this whole idea of the album, of the second album. But like I said in a previous episode, that I just want it to be done right. I want to get it professionally mixed. I can only do so much with the songs with the mixing and the capability that I have and the knowledge that I have. But this is also, when I do like an EP or singles, I can mix all the stuff myself, and that just gives me an opportunity to get better at mixing and all that technical nonsense, to where one day I might not need an engineer. I might be able to do this shit myself if I keep doing smaller stuff. But I put so much pressure on the album word because the first album meant so much to me and to a lot of people, that I feel weird if I put out a second album, quote unquote, and it's not like up to standards, up to par. I don't know. It's going to be special when it comes out. It's a real thing. There's a lot of music done for it, and it's a thing. But that's not the next thing I'm going to release, but it is in the dome piece. So yeah, an EP will be coming out before the end of the year, and shit, I have plans for another EP after that, but we're not even gonna get into future releases right now. I went off on a rant just talking about how like motivated I am to pursue this shit, and just get back active, man. Really get back in their faces of just rapping and making songs and videos and putting them out, and doing it on the budget I have now, and it's only going to get better in the future. And just, yeah, I don't know. I'm inspired. I'm excited to create. Me and Ryan did something hella cool the other day, which was actually his idea. He sent me like a sample and was like, let's have a beat challenge. And that's not what he called it. And I'm not going to say what he called it. And maybe you can assume what he called it by the way I'm acting about it. He did not call it a beat challenge. He called it. He asked me if I wanted to have a beat off, guys. And I was on the floor laughing. He said, hey, fool, you want to have a beat off? I said, hell yeah, fool, I'm down. No, I was not with it at first, but then he rephrased the question and I was down. No, just kidding. So yeah, he sent me a sample and was like, let's make a beat. Each of us make a beat in 30 minutes and send it back to each other. And I thought that was the coolest. Like, at first I was a little hesitant, whatever. And then I did it and it was so cool of like a practice, like it was just so like you don't overthink shit. You don't have time to overthink shit with 30 minutes, right? You're like, I'm like, all right, I'm chopping the sample here. I'm chopping the sample here. All right, I'm adding this drum. I'm adding this snare, this kick drum, these hi-hats. I'm adding this bass line. There's not much time to like change things around or even like, yeah, overthink shit. So I told him we need to do that a lot more because that's such a good exercise for both of us. Like to not only, that's going to make us so much quicker and better. And I was like, we might fuck around and make a great beat in the process of this or a few of them that, and then he's like, also we might make some terrible shit, but you know, yin and yang. So I'm super down with that whole idea. And now, you know what? Maybe in the future, if you guys want to see it, maybe now that I'm talking about this on the podcast, we'll do something like this, like for YouTube or for something where or for the podcast. Maybe I'll just play the beats that we made in a 30-minute span or something. I'll think of it. It's not a bad idea, but anyway, this might be a longer episode, guys. This might be a longer episode. I'm trying to think if I had any questions, so I should probably go look at them now because it looks like we're coming up on an hour here pretty soon. And I like to keep these like under an hour because there's 1,000 podcasts. I waste so much time listening to podcasts, and now I'm wasting even more time. I'm not wasting time. I'm actually being productive by recording a podcast. So I can't listen to all these podcasts without contributing one myself. Then at least I feel like a productive member of podcast society. Let me look on my YouTube comments to see if I didn't get any questions. Here we are. Fool, I left some stupid shit in the last podcast. Oh my God. I was having such a hard time. I'm proud of myself, dude. I made it this whole time. One take. Didn't even stop. Look at me go. We're only going up from here, guys. Off the Dome with Domes, Gage. Almost didn't even say the whole name of the podcast. And I feel obligated that I have to say my name every time I say the title because the Imposter Off the Dome podcast, like we've talked about in previous episodes. So it's Off the Dome with Domes Gage. And now nobody should get my name wrong because I say it so fucking much. And no, I guarantee there's people reading this like Off the Dome with Doms Gage, huh? Guarantee it. Anyway. That's a really good question, but I'll get to it next week because we're running out of time, and I kind of want to think about that one a little bit more, but it is a really good question. Yeah, there's a couple questions, but I think I'll just get to the questions next week because it seems like we're running a little long on this episode, and most of it is going to be me watching this music video. So I don't know, maybe I should talk about something else now, because that's all I talked about was the music video and being productive and the beat off challenge that me and Ryan do together. So stupid. Yeah, we'll just get to the questions next week. I'm drawing a blank, and then I'll look at these. I'll kind of think about them a little bit more, and so who knows? Maybe I edit this podcast down, and it ends up being 30 minutes, because there was probably a lot of blank air between me clicking around. More technical talk. Come to Off the Dome with Domes Gage if you want to hear a person figure out how to do a podcast while recording their fucking podcast. It's like, maybe you should figure these things out before pressing record, Domes. Maybe it'd be a little more entertaining. Yeah, I don't know. This is the end. This is Off the Dome with Domes Gage, episode 3. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for showing love on the new music video, Trust the Process. If you haven't seen it, make sure to go watch it now. Hopefully I broke it down a little bit, gave a little bit of backstory, and maybe I'll have KON on to talk about it further, because he was a big part of a lot of that. And like I said in the last episode, he's super jealous that I'm doing the solo podcast, and he wants us to bring our podcast back, which we're figuring it out. But maybe that's what it was. KON was like, he's calling me because he wants me to do his podcast. He doesn't even want to bring our podcast back. Fuck that shit. Fuck Domes. Fuck the Trust the Process video. Fuck all that shit. Nah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, guys. Off the Dome with Domes Gage. Listen. Oh, yeah, we're everywhere. Everywhere podcasts are available. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, Podbean, all that shit. Just go if you listen on Apple Podcasts, make sure to subscribe and rate 5 stars, because you have to do that on Apple. You have to rate, and that helps my podcast grow, I think. And yeah, so Off the Dome with Domes Gage, available everywhere podcasts are available. And that's it, guys. That's it. Every Monday, Off the Dome with Domes Gage. I'll be back next week. Peace.